Ian,
Christable.
why don't you just die? Is what we are talking about
Yes.
tonight.
Russian movie. Available now on Arrow.
It is from 2018. We
Yeah.
are just randomly picking this.
Yep, and it's also for rent various other places.
We missed this in 2018. We were
did.
doing this show in 2018.
This, okay, I can't say that now. Gotta save it. Yeah, we were. We could have, but sometimes the foreign stuff doesn't always trickle down, and we don't. You don't. There's no. I don't remember hearing any buzz about this back then.
Much like economics. Sometimes, I don't know, trickle down. I don't know. Okay.
No, that is not a thing that happens.
No, that's certainly. I was not trickled all over,
Yeah.
I'll tell you that.
So this is a Russian movie. It has been compared to Edgar Wright and Quentin Tarantino films, which I totally understand both of those influences.
I see the Tarantino for sure, and there's some quickness.
I'd say Edgar Wright even more so, though.
Really?
Both in terms of the use of soundtrack and the way they use the music and like some of the quick zooms. Yeah.
I've seen this movie compared to so many directors.
Yeah.
I saw Fincher, I saw Sergio Leone, I saw Park Chan-wook, I saw, I don't know where the Fincher thing comes. I think the Tarantino thing's pretty obvious,
Yeah.
but it doesn't matter.
It's the tightness of the storytelling, the strength of the characters, the attention to subtlety that both Tarantino and Wright do. I think those are the two strongest influences.
Yes. This is a style over substance movie.
Yes.
And I don't necessarily mean that, actually, I don't mean that bad at all.
Yeah.
But even the
really,
substance is good, though.
Yeah, it's really going to take its time on the details rather than be concise in terms of story. Like, you could tell this whole story in 10 to 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Tops. Yeah. But they really take their time and work through it. Like you said, a lot of attention to style and detail.
So, it is a movie about a Russian detective cop guy, and a young man shows up at his house and is
Ill intent.
going to kill him. And then from there, hijinks ensue. The movie is told through flashbacks or vignettes of what characters' motivations are. So you get something, and then you are shown why they're motivated to
If
do what
not
they're
for
doing.
some of those things, this would be like a one-room movie.
Yes.
And that'd be interesting enough, potentially, but it does help break it up and make it a little more interesting.
For sure. And everything makes sense by the end. And this movie hyper-focuses on these sequences, and it gets absurdly violent and gory in ways. And it
Certainly
is
bloody.
Bloody,
More
yes.
so than gory.
Yes, sure.
Like, I would compare it to Revenge a little bit in that way.
Yeah, sure. By the end, he's running around. Yeah. This is a really fun movie.
Yeah,
I really liked it.
Think we need to go back and revisit our best of 2018 film and re-record it, because this needs to be on that list.
Yeah, this is great. It is humor in the darkest of ways a lot of times.
Yeah.
And absurd.
So it's often like physical comedy.
Yeah, it's cartoony.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like,
Yeah.
because what they're doing is so aggressively violent and disturbing. If it was real, it's like a Tom and Jerry cartoon where they're like hitting each other with like metal beating sticks. I don't know what they're called.
Metal beating sticks. That's what we call it in Russia. In Soviet Russia, metal sticks beat you.
What am I
don't
thinking
know.
of? Like frying pans, you know what I mean?
Frying
Where like
pans
it's
or
funny in cartoon
mallets.
form, but in reality, if you beat somebody in the head with a frying pan, it's a gory, disgusting, disturbing mess. But like everything in this movie is like, oh, you just got blah blah blah. But every time, characters get back up for the most part.
And this is definitely a type of movie too that at various points certainly makes you physically react. Like in particular, there's a scene involving a bobby pin in a bathroom drain, and you do that. You're sitting on the couch, you just go, oh.
Do not do that. Let's just say a mouth has to go into a dirty, dirty drain.
Because hands are bound.
I like that the actor too. A
Yeah.
lot
All
of
the actors were great.
Yes, they all fit their parts perfectly. But that main guy, the young kid, like his mouth was gagged, or he was just like silent, and he was telling like all of his emotions through his eyes. It was like, oh, he's like, he's looking at that drain. You're like, no, don't do it. And he's like, oh.
Yeah,
And it worked so well. Yeah. It was a really quick movie because it's just frenetic with all the stuff.
Yeah.
I got the Sergio Leone influences here with like the moments where it's quiet and everybody's the stand down, like in a gunfight, like the good, the bad, and the ugly or something, where it's like cutting back and forth between the people's faces. And then the tension rises from that. Like, what is going to happen?
the movie is really good in a Tarantino kind of a way of like escalating, de-escalating the tension. Like it really plays with the tension back and forth. Like there's a moment where they're fighting and they both just pause to sit on the couch and stare at each other for a minute. And they look at the gun, then they look at each other that's on the floor.
Well, it's like hyper-focusing on these small moments in a way and making them drawn out and entertaining. And then super stylized with all the camera work. It must have taken forever to shoot this thing. Just like everything is very well thought out. Or at least like the movie must have been like completely storyboarded or something.
It's possible. I think it also helps that a lot of the important moments are all in one room.
Yes,
You
and
know what
I
I mean?
assume that's a set, right? The way
Probably,
they
it's gotta
destroy
be.
it and shit,
Yeah,
and blood
there's-
everywhere.
Yeah. I would think it would have to be.
What'd you think of the soundtrack? Because
Soundtrack was a hell of a lot of fun. Yeah, I have multiple new bands on my playlists because of this movie.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was good. It was a lot of fun.
The Hatters are a new favorite
Never heard
band
any
of
of it.
mine.
A lot. I assume most of it is Russian. A lot of it is. They're singing in Russian.
Genya Lubitsch does the song about the I'm just a little Russian girl. That song's a lot of fun too.
Yeah. I didn't pick up on this, but I saw somebody mention some thematic, perhaps, elements to this movie talking about Russian culture and the corruption and how it seeps down into all forms of the society. And when you peel the story back, you do kind of see that now. The higher up detective guys are corrupt and how it leaks down throughout the whole family, even to the boyfriend.
Yeah.
And sure, I don't know if that speaks to all of Russian society.
No.
But it's a critique of some sort of aspect.
It does absolutely exist within this family, within the department that these police work for. Yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting element. It felt more like just part of the background of it. It didn't feel like I was trying to say something about that.
Yeah, I
you
don't know. It wasn't obvious to me.
Yeah. I think it's like watching Snatch. It's
Sure.
like there's
Snatch
that
is a good comparison.
Yeah, there's that corrupt underworld of Britain, but it's I don't think they're ever trying to critique it. It's just like the setting.
Part of the flavor. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the local flavor, it's the setting more than it is any kind of, commentary.
It was dark.
It was very dark.
But there was so many dark things.
And yet it was so fun.
But it was so fun,
Not unlike Snatch, some of those old Guy Ritchie movies.
Yeah.
Guy Ritchie needs to get back to making movies like that again.
He just made Aladdin.
Did he make Aladdin?
Which is very similar to this in that it's a assault on the senses.
He hasn't made a movie in almost 20 years that I've even seen or cared to.
Hey, if somebody says, "Do you want to make Aladdin for Disney?"
I mean, you should make it. They'll
You
pay
make
you a
that
lot.
shit, right? Because
But,
that's a lot of money.
I don't need to see his King Arthur movie, do I?
I don't know. Is that the one with Jamie Foxx? Or am I thinking of Robin Hood or something?
I think you're thinking of Robin Hood. This is the one with the motorcycle club guy.
Motorcycle?
Charlie Hunnam.
Oh. Man,
Yeah, I don't
he's
know.
in that Raised by Wolves show, right?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, I don't know.
You're thinking of a Skarsgård.
No, I'm not thinking of a Skarsgård. How dare you assume I'm thinking of a Skarsgård?
You're always thinking of a Skarsgård.
I love them Skarsgårds.
I mean, are we sure Charlie Hunnam isn't a Skarsgård? He does kind of look like a Skarsgård.
Is Scotchgard sort of related?
What?
Okay, fair enough. Why Don't You Just Die? I'm
Yes.
talking to you, the viewer. This is a good movie, and you should check it out. And then after you're done watching that, they should sign up for the Patreon, right, Ian?
Should they now?
Yeah, why not?
$2 a month.
And you get...
Access to the Patreon pre-show, the regular members of the podcast, just bullshitting, having a good time.
And then while you're on this crazy high of signing up for $2 a month, and you're like, Jesus Christ, you should just start watching some Crite Nights. Because nobody watches those.
Like, seriously, we love doing Crate Night. That's why we keep doing them. But we're going to threaten to stop if more of you don't start watching it.
We're not stopping.
No, we're not. I don't know why I'm making false threats. You must tolerate our Crate Nights.
All right, that's going to do it for You Must Die. Romeo Must Die. Oh, R.I.P. Aaliyah. One love. Too soon, right? Hashtag too soon. Oh, and DMX is in that too, isn't he?
I have no idea.
Oh my God, he might not be. Is he in that? I think he is. Oh shit, Ian, how dark is that? We're going out on a dark note, like this movie does. Wow. Okay, we're done.